This is Hallmark University Thursday Night Lights. Presented by Jack in the Box.
Good evening, everybody. From Trinity's Tower to the Rock Pile, we're live at Alamo Stadium for Hallmark University Thursday Night Lights, and we've got a good one. Jefferson and Burbank tonight on the CW35. Good evening, everyone. I'm Don Harris, along with my broadcast partner, Chuck Mikatinik. These are two teams that started 0-2, but Chuck, they have turned it around just in time for district play, and boy, have they. Both teams coming off huge wins a week ago.
Both teams doing a really good job during their non-district part of the schedule, and as you said, I mean, they're getting hot at the right time, just in time for league play. Jefferson coming off a win last week against Brackenridge, and then Burbank, they've won 2 in a row since league play started. Burbank's one of those teams, young, have kind of grown up before our very eyes. We're going to have an interesting battle tonight, especially with the elements.
These are two teams that love to run the football, including running their quarterbacks. And it starts for Jefferson with their QB, Jason Garai.
You know, this is a squad, and I think both of these teams, you know, they like to put the ball on the ground and run with it, be safe with it, and then play some really good defense. And you look at the numbers that Jason Garai amassed so far this season. Lots of action on the ground and 3 TDs so far.
The defense has been stiff, and they're led by their linebacker, Ian Garcia.
Again, these two teams want to play a lot of defense. Garcia's the kind of kid that can play sideline to sideline, high motor. Both of these defenses are really playing well right now.
Again, another quarterback who likes to run it out of that set for Burbank is Julian Basildua, number 12, 4 touchdowns passing.
Yeah, this is the first time that Julian's getting a chance to run this offense this season, new to the position. And as you said, I mean, he's having a whale of a season, looking the part. Right now, 4 touchdowns on the season, and almost perfect a week ago completing passes.
Burbank also has some really fast athletes on offense and defense. On the defensive side of the ball, Carlos Covarrubias is a speed burner.
Yeah, they've got Covarrubias, they got Guzme on the other side, and these guys are really doing a good job of ball hawking as well. As you see, 4 interceptions for this young man alone. Burbank really has turned the page on their season, and some of these young guys that got to play as freshmen and sophomores have now grown up in this program. These guys absolutely look the part as we move on through the 2017 season.
It has been a wet day all day long here at Alamo Stadium. We want to find out if we're going to get this one in, because like last week there was some electricity in the air. Let's go down for our ASCO Game Time weather to Mike Hernandez. Mike, is it one of those situations, or is it just rain?
Yeah, I think it's just going to be more rain, and I think it's going to be lighter rain on top of that. I'm just looking at the radar right now, and there's some light showers in and out, so we're kind of real light precipitation right now. We could see some pockets where it picks up a little bit, but there's no lightning in sight, so good news there. I don't think that's going to be an issue tonight. 75 for the temperature game time. Beautiful weather as far as temperatures, and the winds will be out of the north, so it looks like it's going to be kind of a ground and pound kind of night, probably with a very wet feel. We'll see how that plays out.
In the old days, this would be a mudder.
Yes.
But they play on artificial turf now, so it should be clean, although I'm sure we'll see a slick ball and maybe some turnovers. When we come back, we'll have our keys to the game. Thursday Night Lights, Jeff and Burbank when we come back.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is sponsored by Lymphedema MD. You're watching Hallmark University Thursday Night Lights, presented by Jack in the Box.
Hey, welcome back to Alamo Stadium, everybody. It's Jefferson and Burbank on Hallmark University Thursday Night Lights tonight. Right now, it's time for our Hallmark University keys to the game. And Chuck, up first, the Jefferson Mustangs.
Well, for Coach Cardenas and his group, a little something for everybody. On offense, they'd like to control the football. On defense, they want to bring as many guys to the ball carrier as possible. And then lastly, make something happen on special teams.
It's been a wet week. We asked Coach Edward Cardenas, did he get a chance to get any practice in?
Well, it was a short week with all this rain, but kids are excited. They're coming off a big win. We're excited about the win, but we're facing a good Burbank team right now that's flying high.
Yeah, Chuck, the Bulldogs have won 2 in a row. What are their keys?
Well, for Coach Mark Bettis, his squad, similar in what they want to achieve tonight. They want to control the clock, and then they're really going to key in on defense, trying to stop the two backs of the Jefferson Mustangs. That'd be Pena and Bettis. And then lastly, they too want to do something special on special teams.
We asked Coach Perez, how did you turn it around?
Well, you know, these boys, I've said it many times, they stuck with us. You know, they believed in the process, and now they're reaping the benefits of it. You know, it's no secret to us what they're doing on the field. You know, that we knew they could do this. They just needed that extra time in the weight room, that extra off season, and here we are. You know, so we're ready to grind, and I'm hoping I see a good game tonight with these young boys.
We're ready to grind. Burbank and Jefferson. When we come back, we'll have our national anthem, and we'll kick it off here on Hallmark University Thursday Night Lights on the CW35. Welcome back to the Rock Pile, everybody. Jefferson and Burbank getting ready to kick it off. Our opening kickoff sponsored by Ernest Roofing. Ernest Roofing, they have you covered. The Jefferson Mustangs will receive. Burbank Bulldogs won the toss, but they have deferred, so they've decided to kick it off and get it back in the second half. So Jefferson and Coach Edward Cardenas will get the first crack at it offensively. Mark Perez doing a great job with those Burbank Bulldogs. Winners of 2 straight district ball games, and Jefferson coming off that big win a week ago. So both teams looking forward to district play and seeing if they can keep their winning going here at Alamo Stadium tonight.
And it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. I mean, we've had, obviously, if you live in San Antonio, you know, you've had intermittent rain all day long. That was down on the field before the game, though, Don. And, boy, when they really did the upgrades here at Alamo Stadium, I mean, the turf was about as dried out as you could possibly expect. The drainage on these fields are unbelievable nowadays, and so you would imagine that you would hope the tracking or the footing for guys is going to be pretty good, but then you can't account for, you know, the ball getting wet. They're going to be doing a good job of flipping balls in and out to make sure they keep the balls as dry as possible. But you're right, you know, I think we're going to have a chance to see with these defenses, a chance to get some turnovers and help out your other offense.
Jalen Pena back, along with Andrew Halpin. Elian Valdez will kick it off for the Bulldogs. Michael Garcia also back there, standing at about the 10-yard line. And here we go from Alamo Stadium. Valdez kick is going to go about 3 yards deep. Michael Garcia will take it there, but decide not to bring it out. And we'll get our first look at that Jefferson Mustang offense. Again, we want to tell you that Jalen Pena and company, without any question, this is a running attack. They won't throw it much. Pena, the running back, has carried it 65 times. And Jason Garay, the quarterback, also has carried it 65 times for 225 yards. He has thrown it 25 times for 50 yards. And they've been successful and efficient. Garay has thrown for 2 touchdowns, ran for 3. They'll run most everything out of the spread. Halpin and Pena back there with him. First down and 10. Give is to Pena. He picks up about 4 or 5 yards. Nice first down carry as we take a look at tonight's starting lineups. Pena, the running back, again gets most of the load, although he shares time with Andrew Halpin. And if there's a favorite receiver, it's basically Pena coming out of the backfield as well. So Jason Garay, the quarterback, and 21, Jalen Pena, by far carrying the bulk of this offense. There's Garay keeping and gets back to the line of scrimmage, but not much doing. Tristan Zamora really anchors this Burbank defensive front. He's number 52 up there on the nose. And they've got some really good athletes at the 3rd level with Dylan Guzme and Carlos Covarrubias. And so it'll be tough to throw against those guys. Keep an eye on number 2, the safety back there, playing center field right now for Burbank, one of the best athletes on the field. 3rd down and 5 as Burbank shows blitz, and they do come. Stretch balls on the ground, and I believe Burbank's got it. They do. Joe Klein coming up with the football.
Big-time play by that Burbank defense.
Yeah, Isaac Cantu coming through and going with the ball carrier all the way on that one, and never too early for a little Romstein. Oh, just a little flip of the ball there, hard on the exchange, and ball's on the ground. I was going to say, let me see you stripped, but there was really no reason for that. It was just an errant exchange, and Burbank is there for the early capitalization.
Joe Klein, didn't he play for Arkansas and then Sacramento and some teams in the NBA?
I thought he went to Notre Dame.
He went to Notre Dame and then transferred.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Or maybe he went to Arkansas first and then transferred. I do know he went to both schools.
Oh, he's still got some eligibility here at the high school level.
6'11" redhead. Burbank running option on their first play.
And we talked about it right off the onset. You know, had a little sprinkles, the track's wet, ball's going to get a little greasy. Kind of hard to hang on to at times, and wouldn't be a bit surprised if we see that happen a little bit all throughout the night. Ball security is going to be at a premium, and a huge break early for Burbank.
Here come the Bulldogs. Straight ahead is James Vallejo inside the Miracle Mattress red zone. And good enough for Kielbasa, first down. Micah Garcia in on the tackles. We take a look at those Burbank offensive starters. Julian Basaldua, the quarterback. Guzman will play some quarterback as well. And they're going with Matt Salazar, as you said, Chuck, the young freshman at tailback. 251 yards and a couple of touchdowns on the year, and he's got it here coming left. Cuts it back. Good awareness for a freshman, picks up about 2. Carlos Oviedo with the tackle for Jefferson.
Yeah, I was down on the field before the game, and I heard all this talk about young Matthew Salazar. I'm thinking freshman, so I'm thinking it's like me, you know, weighed 30 pounds in high school as a freshman. This kid looks the part, though. I didn't make freshmen that big when I was a kid.
Just a youngster. Out there on 2nd down and 9. From the 9, Jefferson jumps, and they blow it dead. And we'll get the call.
Yeah, it looked like that was going to be a pass play. Obviously, they're looking for number 10, Marcus Bolden.
Offside. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 2nd down.
Abe Gallegos, our lead official tonight. And that'll move him inside the 5, all the way down to about the 4-yard line. And Burbank threatening here early, just 9:25 to go here in the first. And the Bulldogs are threatening. Full house backfield there. Handed inside to the fullback, Vallejo, and fights his way in for a touchdown for the Bulldogs. And Burbank strikes first.
Well, you give a guy number 44, and you expect some tough running. I like John Riggins back in the day. Man, they're just good blood and guts running up there. Trying to pick his way and then pull his way, and look at that. Taking on tacklers, and you know, the coaching staff loves that. Anytime you fall forward, you're a ball carrier and picking up 2. Those extra couple of yards result in 6 points.
The extra point attempt is up, and it's good by Elian Valdez, and so Burbank strikes first. 7-0 Bulldogs. Jefferson will have it again when we come back. Welcome back. The Burbank Bulldogs jumping on top. Mark Perez's team. 7-0 here. 9:11 to go here in the first quarter. Bulldogs, and they're riding some momentum after losing their first 2 games to Pearsall and Corpus Christi Moody. Those 2 were a little misleading because they were in both of those ball games. Fell to Pearsall 27-19. Moody 22-17, lost a close one. They came back and won a great game with Highlands, 35-32, and then whipped up on Kennedy last week. And so they're taking that momentum here into Alamo Stadium tonight and strike first with a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, and Moody, you know, they're 4-1 on the season. So I think this Burbank team is going to be one of those teams at the end of the year where we're going, hey, man, these guys kind of caught us by surprise. I mean, hadn't done a lot of winning here in the last couple of years, but if you ask this coaching staff, they really, truly feel like they believe they should be 4-0 at this point.
Here's Jalen Pena with the return, and spinning around the 25-yard line, and he's going to be down right there at the 26. Juan Escobedo with the tackle, and we go down to Mike Hernandez and a Hall of Famer. Mike.
Ooh, I have Phil Harris with me now. He's actually on the board of trustees for Hallmark University, but Phil Harris is such a Jefferson graduate, just like me. Give me some of that. Now, he was just inducted into the SAISD Hall of Fame last week. And, of course, he was an All-State. He was a parade All-American. Went on to UT. We're going to talk about that in just a second. But welcome. It's an honor to meet you, sir.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
So, again, Hallmark University trustee, and they're bringing winners in with a winning program, right?
Absolutely, and that's the reason I wanted to go with them, because I saw what an excellent job. They're committed to excellence. And another thing is that they treat their students as individuals, not as a number. They're interested in each and every student, and they have a contact with the business community, and they have a tremendous aeronautics program. They're really maintenance good. Technology school. Yeah. And with that, I saw how excellent that was. And what they do is they work with the businesses and the companies that are going to be hiring these people to find out, what do you want from our graduates? Right. And so then they make their curriculum around what it is the business people are looking for.
Absolutely.
And the next thing is they develop people's character. And that is so important to them. And it's important to businesses that people come out and have a character development that meets the business's expectations.
And I got to ask you, talk about character development. He got to play with Darryl, get coached under Darryl Royal. You roomed with Tommy Novus. You got to play for the national championship. You guys won the championship against Navy in '63. Roger Staubach, my hero, was the quarterback there for Navy. What an experience.
It was just unbelievable experience. It was, I was just a sophomore on the team, so I probably didn't know as much about what it took to win a national championship or anything. But to be able to be on the field with, he won the Heisman Trophy that year.
He did.
And to be able to play against him and to have success against him, that was tremendous.
I could spend an hour talking to you, sir. Thank you so much, and I appreciate it. Appreciate you stopping by, and I appreciate you representing Hallmark University. That says a lot. Back to you guys.
All right, a Longhorn legend right there. Phil Harris, one of the great ones, inducted into the Cotton Bowl Hall of Fame. Played, as Mike said, on that '63 national championship team. Great running back at UT, and glad to have him here. Congratulations on going into the Hall of Fame here for the SAISD, along with Laura Neugebauer-Groff and Joe Horland and Gary Bell. Both those guys went to Burbank a year apart. 54, 55, Burbank didn't have a baseball team. They played American Legion ball, so these guys were football players. And then one of them throws a no-hitter in the big leagues, and the other one plays for a dozen years in the big leagues. So Burbank with a rich sporting history, as does Jefferson, as Salazar comes this side. Look at the freshman go across the 40, still on his feet, inside the 40 to the 39.
Yeah, 5 TDs already on the season for that young man, and speed to burn. Obviously, when you're a freshman, that's the first thing that's going to show up, but they just can't believe this kid's football IQ this early in his career. And seeing is believing. He's already off to a good start tonight.
That's a Kielbasa smoke meat first down, inside handoff to the fullback Vallejo again. Kid who scored the touchdown. Picks up about 3. Just like that, the Bulldogs are back on the move here, second down and about 8.
And that's the cool thing, Don, getting back to the SAISD Hall of Fame. I mean, all the upgrades that they've done in this beautiful park, it's really cool. The plaques that are on display all throughout the stadium, really just a historic site and a great place for a high school football game.
Straight ahead for another 3 or 4. Going to bring up a conversion opportunity here for the Bulldog offense. 3rd down and 4. And they're knocking on the door again. And they might be, Chuck, in that 2-down territory here, where too far to kick a field goal, but no use punting. So we'll see what they do here on 3rd and 4.
Yeah, and they're really, really good in terms of athletes that they have at the skill level.
Little keeper now by Basildua. He gets right near the stick. I think he's going to be short. And in fact, they're going to mark him a full 2 yards short as Jonathan Santa Cruz and Jonathan Cortez teamed up to bring him down. It's going to be 4th down and 2, and they run in the big fullback who scored, James Vallejo. Guzman's also in there, and they want to talk it over. So the Burbank coaches are going to, well, no, they're not. They're just calling a different formation, trying to get guys lined up, and now they have 10 seconds to snap it. Run straight ahead, and I believe Basildua is going to get there for the first down.
Indeed, and just one of those things, you know, a little quick snap. Find yourself a crease and see if you can't lunge forward for the sticks. He did exactly that, and Burbank gets a fresh set.
You're looking at our America's Diamond Smile Cam. Great performance pregame by both bands. Hope you stick around for our halftime show to hear the performances. Always fun to hear those. You'll be able to vote for our band grant as well. Season-long promotion that will give big-time money to one of these bands here on Hallmark University Thursday Night Lights. Guzman in motion, snap it and give it to him, but Burbank was a little premature there.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Abe's going to get him for a false start. Taking a look at that Jefferson defense. As I told you up front, Brian Lopez, number 43, he's an all-district performer. Ian Garcia in the middle at linebacker, and then back deep. Keep an eye on Itler Mabula, number 88. He's a freshman playing safety, and they really like the potential of this young man. Jefferson jumps again, and having a difficult time here with snap count. A couple have gone against Jeff, and at least a couple now have gone against Burbank. Here's Abe.
Defense, offside. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So we'll make it 1st and 5.
They just get those 5 yards back.
You see the Jefferson coaches making the case that maybe they're being somehow baited, or that the Burbank line might be moving, but here we go, 1st and 5. Basildua rolling, throwing, double covered down there, and incomplete. He was looking for Aaron Trevino. Nathan Velasquez back there to break it up. Good coverage.
Yeah, get the quarterback playing DB down there and almost coming up with the interception. Basildua down there in company. Reading that one all the way, and Jefferson trying to do all it can on defense to get the ball back for the offense, because, man, that's the best part about where we're at now, Don. You know, we're talking about being halfway through the Hallmark U TNL schedule. I mean, this is a league game and a big one for both of them.
Here's Basildua throwing the screen. He's got Aaron Trevino, and good job of snuffing that out from that Jefferson defense. Ian Garcia, we talked about him pregame. He was in on the tackle, as was Itler Mabula. And we've got an injury down. Trevino, the ball carrier, is going to be attended to, and while they look at him, we'll take a break. It's Jefferson and Burbank here at Alamo Stadium. The Bulldogs with a 7-0 lead as we near the end of the first.
All right, and welcome back. I'm joined on the field here. This is Roger Duran, and he is the band director for Jefferson High School. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm good. So what do you got planned for halftime?
We're going to do a show. It's entitled Rhapsody in Red, White, and Blue. Just some great music. I think the crowd will enjoy it and recognize some of the music.
All right. I was surprised you guys came out tonight with the threat of rain.
We're very happy that it's seemingly clearing up. We were worried about not being able to perform, but we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was just looking at the radar. It looks good. So thank you, sir. Good luck.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You knock them out. Knock it out of the park. Back to you guys.
All right, Mike, thanks. 3rd down and 7. Big play here for that Bulldog offense. Basildua in the pistol, rolling again to his left and firing, and that's going to be close. Did he catch it? They're going to give it to him for a 1st down, and we told you to look out for Marcus Bolden, one of the good athletes out here on this field. 16 catches for 239 yards and 4 touchdowns coming into this one. Chuck, athletic grab.
Absolutely. Great route, great throw, great everything. I mean, not easy to do. The receiver slipping past the second line of defense. And just a great throw by Basildua. Obviously not an easy one to make when you're rolling to your left with the elements.
In the Miracle Mattress red zone, and quarterback Kiefer Basildua got a seam and gets down to about the 11-yard line before Mabula makes the tackle.
Basildua, first-year starter, as we said, got some reps last year as the starter when their other quarterback went down to injury. Played mostly defense last year, but really stepped up, took the challenge that the coaches were looking for him, and really has taken it and run with it and done a great job as Burbank rides this 2-game winning streak.
Salazar stopped by Oviedo and the rest of that Jefferson defense. Nice play by the Jeff D there to get penetration up front. Under 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Burbank already with a touchdown lead and making a couple of substitutions as the fullback Vallejo checks back in along with Aaron Trevino. Glad to see him okay after going down a couple of plays ago with what looked like a leg injury, but he's all right, shaking it off. And another conversion opportunity here on 3rd and about 6. The handoff to Salazar, not going to get there. And look at Ian Garcia coming up from his linebacker spot to make the tackle.
Yeah, big boys doing great work up front too for Jeff. Santa Cruz, Lopez, Reimers, Oviedo, all those guys making a really nice push and getting some help on the second level.
All right, so 4th down and about 6, and they're going to try a left-footed field goal. No, it's righty. Sorry about that. Elian Valdez will kick it from the 19. So a 29-yarder from the right hash for Elian Valdez. Basildua with the spot. Good kick. Plenty long enough and true right down the middle, and Burbank's got a 10-0 lead on Jefferson. The Bulldogs with a couple of possessions and a couple of scores, and they're in control early. 1:43 left when we come back to the Rock Pile. And welcome back. I'm joined by Riley Walker from San Antonio Sports. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
Now,
pretty great.
You have end of registration for the Cheer Challenge here coming up pretty quick. So if you could, give us a quick update on what it is and how people can still get involved.
Sure. So essentially what it is 4 local cheer squads will get to cheer in either the U.S. Army All-American Bowl, which is televised on NBC, or the San Antonio Sports High School All-Star Game. Both games will be in the Alamo Dome. Both games will be televised. And nominations are coming up pretty quick. They're actually going to end on Tuesday. So
how does the team get registered still if they want to get in?
Oh, it's simple. Go to www.sanantoniosports.org/cheer, and they can learn more about what we do, and they can nominate their squad there. It's pretty straightforward and easy.
I'm looking forward to it. Good to see you again.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Back to you guys. All right, thanks, Mike. Always appreciate what the San Antonio Sports does. The Cheer Challenge is another great way to be involved in that all-star game that they put on, presented by HEB. Third kick of the night for Valdez, and he backs the Mustangs up with another good kick into the end zone, so they'll take it over at the 25. And so far, Jefferson's offense having a hard time getting going. Not much doing at all past about the 30-yard line. So the Mustangs will look forward to getting some of their stars loose, including wide receiver Jose Calvillo. They'll mix it up too. You'll see 3 or 4 different guys play quarterback.
Well, first things first, got to get a first down.
Garay back to the line of scrimmage and still fighting forward, which is a nice 2.5, 3-yard gain because there was nothing there. Joaquin Regalado there on the tackle.
Well, you're not kidding. I mean, you talk about blood and guts running right there. He's bullying his way, and that was actually a pretty good game considering how many times he was contacted right at the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 7 for Garay. Maybe this is the drive for the Mustangs. Trying to bounce it. Does. Watch out. Garay down the sidelines. He's got one man to beat and does. Oh, he tripped him up at the last second. I thought he had him, Chuck, but a shoestring jumped up and grabbed him.
You're not lying. I mean, that was just a desperation play at the very end of this. I thought he was gone too. Look at him hit that hole and whap right through there. Oh, nice play at the end.
All right.
Desperation. You don't do that in we got us a really close game.
Garai, also our Texas Silk Screen and Embroidery player profile. You can see he's involved in lots of stuff, including football and track and choir and a number of different extracurricular activities. Great kid, good leader, and
false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
First, a little penalty there will march him back 5, but he also participates in that reading program with elementary schools. He's interested in being an architect. And Chuck, again, we talk about the Beyond the Game program that we're doing all year, and this is another kid who goes beyond the game to do good in his community.
And of course he can sing too, why not?
First down, Garai keeps it. He's met there by 2 or 3 Bulldogs right at about the 15. And that may take us to the quarter break. But Jefferson is moving.
Yeah, and boy, did they need that huge play by Garai. Something to kind of hang your hat on as we go into the second quarter. I mean, just nothing going your way on offense after 2 drives, but you know, whisker away from a home run, and we got us a football game here in the second quarter.
A 58-yard run by Jason Garai has the Mustangs on the move as we come back for the second quarter of Hallmark University Thursday Night Lights. Back for our Hallmark University first quarter highlights. All Burbank, but Jefferson is on the move. It all started with a turnover. Joe Klein coming up with the loose ball for the Bulldogs. James Vallejo converted with a 4-yard touchdown run to make it 7-0. Alien Valdez kicked a 29-yard field goal to make it 10-0. But now the Mustangs are on the move.
Yeah, as you see Garai there, using those track skills that he's done so well on. More tough running by Jeff.
Jalen Pena spinning and bouncing down near the 15. You look at the stats, fairly even. Burbank with 13 more passing yards, but been a lot of penalties and that one key turnover. But Jefferson can jump right back into this football game if they can convert this drive, and this is the big play for it. 3rd down and 7 from the 16. Fade to the corner, clock, touchdown Mustangs. Jose Calvillo.
How about that?
The older of the Calvillo brothers, Jose and Arturo, both threats for the Jefferson offense, but Jose just ran a straight fly and Garai put it right on the money.
Jeff giving us a little wrinkle there with the passing game. And wide open. That's the first touchdown pass of the year for Garai. And the first touchdown reception of the year for Mr. Calvillo.
Demetrio Ortegon with the extra point. That is up and good after a good hold by Garai. And we'll take another look at it. Chuck, he knew he wanted to go here from the very get-go.
Yeah.
We'll pump and go.
And dropped it right on the money. Game on.
10-7 Burbank. We're coming back to Alamo Stadium.
All right, welcome back. Again, the score is 10-7 right now, Burbank. Tina Schubert from Jack in the Box. Tina!
Hey, I brought my friend.
Yes, what did you bring?
I brought a ham pocket and a sausage pocket. Now for $2, you can get it at Jack in the Box. Our new promotion. Come and get breakfast all day.
So you got different flavors?
Yeah, this is a sausage one and this is ham. They both have egg and cheese in them. They come looking like this, come in a little pack.
My mouth is watering over here. Okay, thanks a lot, Tina. I appreciate it, and thank you all for your support. Back to you guys.
I love Tina. We got to find a way to get Tina, on the show as a regular. She brings a lot of energy, and so did the Jefferson special teams right there. What a hit. That's a nominee maybe later for our pick and pull collision of the game. As they say in the business, Chuck, mark the tape.
That was a slobber knocker. We've had a couple of those, and you can tell we're in league play. And how you doing?
Big number 87 for the Jefferson Mustangs is Isaac Gonzalez, just a sophomore. Burbank backed up in their own territory and good pursuit and interior play again. Ian Garcia is, you know, our producer Chris Koffis is all over this. He scouts these games, he scouts these teams. He knows who the player profiles are. And he tabbed number 40 right there with the neck roll. And so far, he hasn't disappointed.
No,
Ian
all
Garcia's
district,
bringing it.
no doubt, all district performer, and certainly looks the part. And that's not the first time he's at a ASCO collision.
There's a little route to Marcus Bolden. Again, his 18th catch on the year. Nathan Velasquez with the tackle, but Bolden is by far the favorite target of Julian Basildua, and for good reasons. Fast, he's tall, 6'2". He has 4 touchdowns on the season.
Yeah, 2 a week ago against Kennedy. So starting to get hot at the right time.
3rd down and 2. Fabinho goes in motion. Hand off inside to Salazar, and look at Ian Garcia. He's got his own Josiah Tauefa inspiration play there tonight. All he needs is the hair.
Well, he can wear his hair anywhere he wants. He plays like this. I mean, look at that. Just finding a gap, and man, the ability to just shoot it and close that quickly and snip it out. Outstanding play and textbook tackling.
We will see our first punt of the night from the Bulldogs. And it's Elian Valdez. Micah Garcia stands at his 45. Right at the 42 and go backwards, and it'll be inside Burbank territory. Jefferson will have a chance to tie this up or go ahead when we come back here from Alamo Stadium. A good one for you so far on Hallmark University Thursday Night Lights.
All right, welcome back. I'm joined by Tony Donkowski from Countywide. How are you, sir?
You know, Mother Nature can't put a dampen this spirit on this field.
No,
this is great.
Tell us about this. You're wearing your Fiesta
We are
medal.
one of the first in San Antonio to get the 2018 Fiesta medal. Something we're really proud of.
Yeah,
I just had to show it off.
All right. And again, you could get one. Just come by and see it.
Call me. Ask for Tony, and we'll get it to you. And also to be sure to check on our furnace checkout.
I was going to say, furnaces. You wanted to talk a little bit about that. What's up with that?
We're going to give a special. It's going to be cold soon, according to the Farmer's Almanac. Farmer's weather.
Wow, really? Okay.
Okay. And so. You don't want to be last in line to get your furnace checked out, make sure everything is right.
Yeah, you're right.
And that's serious business, and that's a lot of money.
And I can just call you?
Just call me, $79, we'll come check it.
All right. Always a pleasure, Tony.
Thank you, sir.
All right, you take care.
All right, Mike, no shot at you personally, but the Farmer's Almanac says it's going to be a cold winter.
I'm all for it, man. I'm ready for a change.
Oh,
it was a pretty mild summer, though, overall. For us.
Yeah, but it's time. It's time for some cooler weather.
It's time. Yep. Sweater weather, bro.
Jefferson with a 3rd down opportunity here, 3rd and 5. And they hand it to Pena, and he's gobbled up right there at the line of scrimmage. Joe Klein and Tristan Zamora right there in the heart of that Burbank defense. And interesting situation here. 4th down. Looks like they're going all the way. Well, now there's some personnel moves being made. But Garay is still on. I don't know if he'll quick kick it. Sends 2 receivers out to the right. And here we go, 4th and 5. Whistles blow. Again, there's a pre-snap penalty, and Burbank wants to talk it over. No penalty, timeout. We'll take it with them. When we come back, it'll be 4th down for the Bulldogs.
Oh, Burbank.
I don't think it looked like it. I don't think Burbank looked like they were going to quick kick it there. It looked like
no, they were going for it most definitely. I mean, Jefferson was lining up as if they were going to go it, and Burbank really was in a scramble mode to try to get over there and get that covered up, and wisely called timeout because that could have been really dangerous, especially after what we saw Bassel do on the last drive, finishing off with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, big play here for the Mustangs. Trailing this ball game 10-7, but got some momentum, and now you would think that Coach Cardenas would draw up a different play than the one they had planned.
I'll tell you, isn't it interesting though, Don? I mean, you know, Jefferson had a couple of drives early, a couple of 3-and-outs, looked like listless, and then they get that one big play to kind of loosen things up, and they've been rolling ever since.
3 receivers to the left-hand side for Garay. He's going one-on-one coverage to a man down there. Contact, no call. Intended receiver was Eric Ariza, but Carlos Covarrubias had him all covered up, and good one-on-one coverage there by the Burbank defense.
Well, wise use of the timeout. They did have it covered up pretty well. And a big stop by Burbank after Jefferson's defense did a really good job forcing the early 3-and-out, kind of tilting the field, giving their offense, you know, the ball in a really good spot to try to have a short field to get some points, but Burbank's defense rising up and returning the favor.
All right, so Burbank with a kielbasa smoke meat first down as they let it fly. Basadua looking for Guzman, and he just couldn't hang on to it. Incomplete. That'll bring up second down. Dylan Guzman, very versatile player for the Bulldogs. He's played some quarterback, he's played some running back, he's played some receiver, returned some kicks, does just about everything.
Yeah, missed all last year with an injury, and they decided they were going to put him outside from his quarterback spot and also let him play some corner, can run.
Basadua has got nowhere to go as the Jefferson defense holds again. Santiago Reimers in on that play right there, big number 60.
And after a slow start by this Jefferson defense, they too have gotten a little hot there. Guys moving their feet and getting after it. And then how about our Texas silkscreen and embroidery player profile, big number 52, Tristan Zamora, playing on both sides and an all-district performer on both.
Going over the middle and deep, and it's picked off by Garcia. Already having a huge night. He's got an Oski. Flag flies on the return. Dylan Guzman brings him down, but Jefferson with another turnover and another stellar play by the middle linebacker, Garcia.
Well, we'll see what the call is, but man, we've seen them 40 above the line of scrimmage and making plays in the backfield.
Here's our referee, Abe Gallegos, with the call.
After the interception, block in the back, 10-yard penalty, Jefferson ball.
All right, so Jeff will have it after the block in the back, but they'll gladly give up that penalty after Garcia was right there to snag it.
Dude's also a catcher on the baseball team. Got a chance to see him a little bit last year. He looks the part there too, but 2-year letterman on the baseball field, and obviously really showing up nicely in this football game.
All right, so first down and 10 for Garay again, and the quarterback keeps it. Actually, that's Jose Cavillo with the carry. Nice game. Dylan Guzman with the tackle. I told you Guzman was everywhere. Garay comes over to get a play from the coaching staff. Second down and 5 for Jefferson. That last drive stalled out after Garay was tripped up. Shows you how close this game is to being a Jefferson lead. Looked like he was going to score. He just stumbled. They could not convert that drive, but they're in business here again. Garay's got it. He spins out of one tackle. Fights closer to the stick. He's going to be short. He's going to set up third down in about 1.5 yards. Tristan Zamora in on the tackle.
You like it? Got the hair, got the number 52. Little Clay Matthews in him. Like I said, man, all-district performer on both sides of the football. He's also had a nice game so far as well.
Garai's 1 of 3 throwing the ball. Threw for that touchdown to Calvillo, their only score of the night. And again, they might be in 2-down territory here with 5:20 left in the half, trailing 10-7. It's Garai keeping and getting close to the stick.
I think that last little lunge.
Got it. Yeah,
nice job.
Joe Klein making the tackle, but not before Garai picks up the first down, it would appear. And they get the signal, and sure enough, it will move this chains. Hey, stick around for our countywide service halftime show. The Jefferson Mustang Band will perform, as will the Burbank Band, and you'll be able to vote for our band grant. Also, always love you to bring the stories of these smart kids. Vulcan Materials presents our Scholar Athletes of the Week. All that coming up on the countywide service halftime show. Kielbasa first down for the Jefferson Mustangs on the move inside Burbank territory. Inside handoff to Pena, who bounces it. Trying to get to the corner, does. He's ridden out of bounds violently by Dylan Guzme, but not before he picks up about 9.
Yeah, great run, obviously, but cannot say enough about the job Leonardo Trevino did on this one. Pulling from his right side, coming over to the left and just destroying anybody in his wake. That allowed the ball carrier to bounce that thing even further. Nice job.
3 receivers to the right for Garai. He's in trouble, trying to run out of it, but he won't get away from the grasp of that Burbank defense. Joaquin Regalado bringing him down, and he had lots of help as well. We told you earlier about our Beyond the Game program. San Antonio Sports and the U.S. Army are recognizing teams that have exhibited key values through their actions. To learn how parents, teachers, coaches can nominate teams that go beyond the game, visit sanantoniosports.org and watch tonight's halftime show for this week's teams that are going beyond the game. Right now, the Jefferson offense just wants to go beyond the chain.
Nice.
3rd down and 7. And running for his life, and drilled by Devin Cardenas is Garai. Cardenas coming up with a big-time shot, and it's going to set up 4th down and long. What a play by that young man.
Well, I'm just happy Garai got up, because look at the size of this kid. Mercy.
As they say in the business, Chuck, mark the tape. Candidate number 2 for our collision of the game. He spun him 360.
Squaring him up and putting him down.
That might be the collision
double nickel.
Here. They're going for it here on 4th. It's a quick kick by Garai, and it's a good one. They're going to bounce down right inside the 10-yard line. They'll spot it at about the 9, and that's where Burbank will have it, but not after a great defensive effort by Big 55 and the Burbank defense.
Yeah, and all the credit in the world to Garai as well. You know, he just takes a shot like that, and then he's responsible for punting the ball downfield. And how many times have we seen punters boot the ball into the back of the end zone and really, you know, give the offense a fresh set right at the 20-yard line? Well, this young man kicked it inside the 10-yard line. Not an easy thing to do, and well played on special teams, especially after taking the shot.
Oh my goodness, what a shot that was. The slow-mo. Got whistles as Burbank's going to take a timeout. And we'll go down to the sidelines and send it to our Mike Hernandez. Mike?
I am joined by Hector Trevino, and he is the band director for the Bulldogs. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
Man, I was listening to the band. They sound really well. What you got on tap for halftime?
Well, the show is called Breaking Through the Silence, and it's the story of the creation of the universe. You know, the big explosion, sending all of those molecules and gases out into the universe. And the big end there is that, you know, the planet Earth gets formed. And we're using some undertones in the show. The show is also about overcoming adversity and just being persistent and working hard. And so we're really excited about this season.
Wow, I'm really excited to see all that. Well, good luck. Thank you for coming by, and I'll be watching this show.
Thank you.
Take care.
Yeah, who needs the Big Bang Theory? We've got our own coming up at halftime. Mike Salazar across the 15. Jonathan Santa Cruz with the tackle. I still got goosebumps from that other hit.
I kind of like it too, but
that was kind of reminiscent of Elway going all helicopter.
Oh, you had to bring that one
Sorry.
up.
I know. Packers. Right. The slant, that was almost picked. Marcus Bolden, the intended receiver. Jeremy Ruiz had it read, couldn't quite get there.
Yeah, a little confusion there between quarterback and receiver. Let's see if they can get this figured out on third down, because after a quick start on offense, Burbank getting those 10 points on their first 2 drives, it kind of bogged down here a little bit late here in the second quarter. A quickly moving second quarter, I might add.
Tick-tock, going deep, double covered, and knocked away. Again, Bolden, the intended receiver, but Nathan Velasquez there to break it up.
Yeah, and also Isaac Gonzalez as well, just a sophomore, had 2 guys back there. So this Jefferson defense, you know, last week they held Brack to 2 points in that game, just a safety. So, you know, their defense didn't give up any points essentially last week.
America's Diamond Smile Cam, the Bulldogs with a lot to smile about, up 10-7. But Elian Valdez stands at his 5. That was over his head. Watch out. Can he get it away? Jefferson's going to get the safety and the ball back. Jonathan Cortez with the tackle. A special teams snafu for the Bulldogs. And they'll be right back where they started. And Jefferson will have a chance here with 2 minutes to go to score again.
Well, in our keys to victory, both of these teams talked about the fact that they wanted to do something great on special teams. And well, Jefferson gets a break here, obviously. And honestly, I think the punter did all he could do at this point. I mean, you're looking up, you got 3 guys in your face, and the last thing you want to do is turn the ball over down here and give them an easy touchdown. Take the 2 points, protect your lead, and then at least you get to punt it back and get your defense on the field and protect your end zone that way. Just a tough play and a tough situation to put your punter in.
So we got ourselves a 1-point ball game with 2:06 to go in the half. Mark Perez's team has had such great momentum the last 2.5 weeks. But the Jefferson coaches going crazy in the booth next to us, fired up about their special teams unit. Because, Chuck, you know it takes all 3 phases.
Last I checked, you're spot on, bro.
All 3 phases, Chuck. Your offense, your defense, and your special teams.
What the coaches always used to say.
Yeah, and they still say it. There's some absolutes just in every sport, my friend.
That's right. Some coaches would say special teams. Some coaches would say specialty teams. I think it means the same.
Things they do special.
That's right. 10-9.
And Jefferson is going to have, you would think, outstanding field position with this too, with the ball being teed up at the 20. So, you know, smidge over 2 minutes left to run your offense, and let's see if they can move the ball down the field and maybe assert themselves on the scoreboard once again.
Pena's got it going right up the middle to the 40, got a block, got the corner, got midfield, and that's where the Mustangs will have it. So they'll only need to go about 50 yards. They've got 2 minutes to go. And as you can see, they've got all 3 timeouts there. So clock management shouldn't be an issue here as they run out Garay, who's already thrown for 1 touchdown. Loves to run it. That would be his preference. But we'll see what they do here with 2 minutes to go as he sends out Arturo Calvillo, the younger brother of Jose, to the right side. And they hand it to Pena. Pena's got nowhere to go, but he's still grinding all the way down to the 46. Just a good effort to keep moving downfield as Tristan Zamora makes the tackle.
And I like the play call on first down too, because if you're Jefferson here, you're managing this drive, of course, but you're managing the clock too. You do not, under any circumstances, want to give Burbank the ball back to end this half. You stole an extra possession here. Let's see if you can take advantage of it on both sides. Get the points and keep Burbank from getting the ball.
Halpin in the backfield. Instead, they throw it out to Ariza. He picks up about 5 and gets out of bounds. Clock runs. So he didn't get out of bounds. They tackled him inbounds. Jefferson will use one of their timeouts with 1:09 left. We talked about one Hall of Famer tonight, Phil Harris, the Longhorn legend. And you'd get an argument from people up in Austin about who's the bigger Longhorn legend, because Laura Neugebauer-Groff, also a Jefferson alum, graduated in '82, led her team to the state finals in volleyball, and then she was maybe one of the greatest volleyball players in the history of UT, along with San Antonio's Destiny Hooker, who is also an Olympian. And of course, she's turned it into a great coaching career. Now the head volleyball coach at UTSA, and a big fan of TNL, by the way.
Well, I mean, again, we're happy that she is, but, you know, easily one of the best athletes to ever come out of this city, male or female.
That's exactly right.
Carol Burnett, she was born in San Antonio, but she was an athlete?
I did not know that. The swing pass to the outside to Pena. Pena also will get out of bounds, but I'm not sure. They'll stop the clock with 1:04, so now it'll be 3rd down and 3. And Jefferson still with 2 timeouts and a new play clock that they haven't started yet. So did they burn a timeout? No, there's a penalty maybe. Let's listen.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
All right, didn't see the flag, but they'll back them up. That's why the clock stopped. And they'll be back on their own 45-yard line. And now it'll be 3rd and 14 with a minute to go.
Yeah, and that's a killer, obviously. I mean, you got the ball, you got the timeouts, you got the field position all in your favor, and now you've got 3rd and a long way to go. See if they run some sort of screen here, or just try to force Burbank to use a timeout, because it looks like they might get a shot at getting this football back. 3 wideouts to the right for Garay. Throws left, that same play that scored, and it's caught. Jose Calvillo, it worked once. Why not go back to it? Oscar Vega makes a tackle, but it's the same route for that touchdown. Yeah, and completely wrong on my part. Jeff going in full attack mode, and another dime dropped in there by the quarterback, Garay. My apologies.
The middle is Pena. And the good news for the Mustangs, they still have 2 timeouts as they tick inside of 40 seconds. And they burn one of them right here.
Well, that was a dime. I mean, the coverage was really good, I thought, on the back end.
Yeah, the first time on the touchdown, he had some separation, but there was really good coverage there. He just put it right on the money. Remember, you get a chance to see any of the games in the history of TNL. This is season 9. If you're a player that wants to tell your kids how good you were back in the day, just go to CW35.com, show them the truth. They can watch. That's right. They can watch the game right there on the website.
Yeah, it's kind of like the YouTube for Hallmark University Thursday Night Lights. I mean, and I told you, I thought it was interesting early on in the year. I was talking to one of the coaches, and they're like, hey, man, I was on this like back in the day. I'm like, hey, guess what?
You can still see him.
You don't have to lie anymore. You can go tell them about it.
All right, here we go. 2nd down and 7. We'll throw it again. Got the same guy. Caught. Touchdown, Mustangs. This time it's Eric Ariza. Not Cavillo, but Ariza down the... But I tell you what, Garay likes throwing that ball to his left-hand side. Quick drop and let her fly.
Yeah, just 3 catches coming into the season for the young sophomore Ariza, but another absolute pinpoint pass by Jason Garay. And we did not expect to see the aerial show from the Mustangs, but they're giving us one tonight.
Just a huge momentum swing here late in the half as whistles blow, and we may have a penalty. We do have a flag down, but they're going to count the extra point.
Offside on the defense. The penalty's declined. Point is good.
So after the safety, a punt, and getting the ball back, converting on a 3rd and 14. Garay throws another perfect strike, and the Mustangs have taken the lead with just 35 ticks left in the first half.
Yeah, talking to Coach Cardenas this week about this young man, Garay. I mean, he was talking about, obviously he's a running quarterback. He's not very big, 5'7", but they just love his feistiness. I mean, he brings it every day in practice. He's super tough. He's a 2-year letterman in track. And, one of their few returners from last year. He played DB and running back a season ago. You see what kind of athlete he is, but I'll tell you what, he hasn't put the ball in the air a lot this year, and specifically, tonight, but he's certainly made the most of it. I mean, the throws that he's made have been spectacular, and 2 of those catches have resulted in touchdowns, and what a run by Jefferson. You talk about a tale of 2 quarters. Burbank dominating on the onset. Looked like they were going to run Jefferson right off the field. Jeff gets a spark from Garay on that big, long run, and they've scored the last 16 points of this ball game.
So Demetrio Ortegon will kick it to Carlos Covarrubias. And Ariza, who scored that touchdown, also will, told by the coaches, might see some snaps at QB from time to time in various formations. This kick will go out through the back of the end zone, and Burbank will have it with only 35 seconds left here in the first half. We take a look at the rest of the Jefferson schedule coming up. We are fully in district play. And the Mustangs coming off that 14-2 win over Brack, very much in this game, up 16-10. And then next week it's Lanier. Then you got Highlands, Kennedy, Sam Houston, and the Golden Bears of Edison to close out the year. So,
yeah, Jeff's staking its claim that, hey, we're going to be here all year. And, Lanier can play, Highlands can play. You go right down the list. This district, it's going to be a fist fight every week for these teams. And, hey, it's just the way we like it. That's why this game feels so much bigger than some of the games that, we talked about early on in the year. It's just, it's interesting when you get these teams and they're all trying to figure out what they are early on in their non-district part of the schedule. But, man, these games mean something. And you can tell tonight, I mean, both these teams are putting on a show.
Be interested to see what Coach Mark Perez says to his squad in the locker room at halftime. They still have 12 ticks left. They might have to snap it one more time. No, they didn't start the play clock, so we're just going to let it tick off. And Mike Hernandez will join Coach Mark Perez, who looked like his squad was in pretty good control, and then they had the special teams snafu on the punt game, a safety, and they got it back. And Mike Hernandez is standing by with the coach. Let's go down to the sidelines. Mike?
I am. I'm joined by Coach Perez. Coach, you lost the lead there at the first half, but it's a very competitive game.
Oh, we did. We got to clean up some mistakes. We had 2 big mistakes right there, and they capitalized on them. And we're going to clean it up and come back second half ready to go.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Teaching the importance of discipline, leadership, and team.
All right, thanks, Mike.
Let's enjoy the game.
We thought it might be a little bit of a rainy night here, but the weather's been clear so far. We've got a good football game. Jefferson going in front of Burbank 16-10. We're coming back with our Hallmark University halftime show. It's the countywide service halftime show. And we'll have both bands. You'll be able to vote for your band, Grant. We're just getting started on a great night for football on Hallmark University Thursday Night Lights.
Welcome to the Countywide Service Company halftime show.
It's halftime here at the Rock Pile, and right now we have 16-10 in favor of the Mustangs. Guess what? I've got Caitlin Munoz here, our CW Insider. How you doing?
I'm good.
So the rain held off.
Okay, yeah.
So, and by the way, folks, the radar right now is showing a few little sprinkles in there, but there's not much happening, nor much on the way. So right now, things are looking good. I think we're going to make it through the game without any issues.
That's good news, because last week at this time,
that was a different story. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about some of the promotions you got. You got something going on with movies, right?
Yes, right now. So if you text movie to 44332, you can win VIP movie passes. So it's the Santikos Palladium. It can be a first-run movie, which a lot of movie giveaway tickets are not like that. So the movie comes out tomorrow, you can go see it tomorrow. AVX and IMAX. So movie to 44332, and you can win those passes.
And then, of course, you have to become a CW Insider first, right?
Yes, we need you to become a CW Insider, so same number, but you want to text CW Crew to 44332.
All right, Caitlin, always a pleasure.
Good
Thank
to
you
see
so much.
Thank
You too. All right, you hear the band in the back? Let's start out our halftime performance with Thomas Jefferson.
Nice job by those Jefferson Mustangs. If you like that Jefferson Mustang Marching Band, just text Band 9 to 44332. That's Band 9, no spaces. For complete texting guidelines, go to the CW35.com. The $5,000 grant made possible by Sprouts Farmers Market.
You're watching the Countywide Service Company Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to Alamo Stadium. Jefferson and Burbank in a good one here at the Rock Pile. Hey, it's time to recognize tonight's Scholar Athletes of the Week. At the end of the season, one featured student will be awarded a $10,000 scholarship presented by Vulcan Materials Company. Let's meet this week's students. Meet Alyssa Laredo. She's a senior at Thomas Jefferson High School, and she plays softball, and she also runs cross country, but she says really softball is her favorite.
I don't know, I guess because I'm better at it, so I like it more. And when I was little, I played baseball, and I just always wanted to play softball.
She's got an incredible GPA of 100 plus, and all her classes are either AP or honors, and she's also the salutatorian for her class.
It's kind of hard sometimes when you get home from games and it's like 9 o'clock at night. Then I know I have like a test the next day, so it's hard sometimes to balance it, but it works out.
Like all our scholar athletes, they stay busy, mostly sacrificing sleep to stay involved in the community and in school, and this young lady is no exception.
I really like to donate blood. I don't know, it's just the thought of helping, I really like it. And we have Beautification Day, where we'll like go around the campus and fix the gardens or pick up trash. And I manage basketball and volleyball, so I'm on the table doing the clock and the book for all the games.
Alyssa hopes to one day work in forensic science, perhaps in law enforcement.
We want to recognize Burbank's Carlos Covarrubias. He's an honor student in the top 15% of his class. Carlos is committed to hard work on the field and in the classroom. Carlos is a 3-year varsity letter winner in football, track, and soccer. Off the field, Carlos is involved in mentoring local elementary school students, as well as volunteering in the community. This year, his teammates voted him as one of the team captains, and his coaches say they've seen him grow as a leader. Carlos plans to attend Sam Houston State University and major in criminal justice. He'd like to follow up his education by enlisting in the military. Congratulations to Carlos for being this week's Vulcan Materials Company Scholar Athlete.
You're watching the Countywide Service Company Halftime Show.
Hey, we head from Jefferson. Let's send it down and hear from this Burbank marching band.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your halftime entertainment, we feature the Burbank Orange Dragons. Section number 3, LeBron. Student athlete, Jonathan Medina. And the next Miami Bulldog Marching Band presents their 2017-2018 show, Breaking Through the Silence.
Hey, great job by the Burbank Bulldog Marching Band. If you'd like to vote for them, just text Band 10 to 44332. That's Band 10 without any spaces. For complete texting guidelines, just go to the CW35.com. Remember, the $5,000 band grant is going to go to one of our schools this year. It was made possible by Sprouts Farmers Market.
Celebrate middle school and high school teams that go beyond the game. San Antonio Sports and the U.S. Army are recognizing teams that have exhibited key values through their actions. This week, we recognize two schools whose service projects highlight beyond the game values. On September 22nd, 11 members of the Clark High School cross-country team traveled to Port Aransas to help with Hurricane Harvey relief. They worked hard to clean up the historic Farley's Boat Works facility and boats. The athletic teams at Taft High School consistently serve as role models for elementary school students in their community, reading to the youngsters, leading star pep rallies, and helping wherever they can. These young people demonstrate the beyond the game values of selfless service, caring, and respect. To learn how parents, teachers, and coaches can nominate their teams that go beyond the game, visit sanantoniosports.org.
Thank you for watching the Countywide Service Company Halftime Show. Stay tuned for the second half of tonight's game. You're watching Hallmark University Thursday Night Lights, presented by Jack in the Box.
Welcome back to the Rock Pile. The winds are blowing, and I tell you what, we had a winds of change in the second quarter as the Jefferson Mustangs battled back to take a 16-10 lead over the Burbank Bulldogs. The two teams about ready to come back on the field. But first, let's show you our first half highlights brought to you by Hallmark University.
Yeah, it was indeed a tale of two quarters, Don. In the first half of this football game, an early miscue by Jeff, recovered by the Bulldogs, and they were able to cash this one in. Elian Valdez is going to kick a field goal and also give the Burbank Bulldogs a 10-0 lead. But before that, Vallejo got the 4-yard touchdown. And then second quarter rolls around, and we got us a football game. Calvillo with a 12-yard TD catch, and then the huge interception by Ian Garcia. Jefferson coming up with a big play to help their offense, and then another miscue here. Burbank with the errant snap in the back of the end zone. We've got a safety, and then Jeff is able to capitalize at the end of the half with a 9-0 run. They got that 30-yard TD reception by Ariaza, and just like that, Jefferson swings this football game in their favor. And as we take a look at the stats, rushing yards clearly in favor of Jefferson right now. The passing yards as well, total yards, all of them going in Jeff's favor. But again, both teams doing an amazing job capitalizing on those turnovers. And that's why we got such a close football game right now, 16-10 and a barn burner.
Yeah, I think the big key for Jefferson was converting big-time plays. They had the 3rd and 14, and they converted that to keep that drive alive when Calvillo has been the star, not only with that first touchdown, but also with that 3rd and 14 catch. And great throws by Jason Garay have put the Mustangs out top, kind of dominating the stat sheet, which is a little surprising after the way this thing started. But Burbank will get it first. They deferred at the start of the game. So they'll send Guzme and Covarrubias back to receive this kick. And the Bulldogs will be looking quickly to go back in front.
And it was interesting, too, because, the way Jeff started this game, 2 3-and-outs, and we were talking about, man, they need a little spark. We're rolling down here at the end of the first quarter. Garay goes on that huge run, almost scored on it, but that definitely kick-started this entire operation for Jeff.
Demetrio Ortegon with our Ernest Roofing second half kickoff. Ernest Roofing, they've got you covered. Goes through the back of the end zone, and so the Burbank offense will trot out there. They are led by Julian Basaldua, who has 10 touchdowns on the year. That's just throwing the football. He's also got 3 touchdown rushing, and Mike Hernandez talked with Edward Cardenas, who's Mike, I would think, had to be pretty happy with the way that half ended.
Yeah, he said before the game, he told me, he said, boy, this is going to be a tough one. And he reminded me, he says, I told you it was going to be tough. He said that the one thing they have to do is they have to pound the rock. They have to continue to run the ball. That's their game. He said that Burbank is kind of jamming the middle right now, so they've had to take the corners, but they would rather just run it right up the middle and play their game. And he said, in parting, he said, the team that makes the fewest mistakes, I think, is going to walk away with the W.
Yep, and it looked like right there Matthew Salazar was going to be dropped for a 2-yard loss, but boy, that young freshman puts his head down and stumbles forward for about 2 before Santiago Reimers brings him down. But nice job of breaking the tackles and using leg strength to pull forward for positive yardage.
Yeah, Nick Arias, number 77, with a push there too. And I know this about this Burbank squad, they're not going to panic, Don. I mean, of these 17 seniors, 13 of them played as sophomores, so a lot of game experience for these guys.
Salazar out of the backfield, brought down by Ian Garcia. Jonathan Cortez was the first one there. And that'll set up 3rd down and about 7. And Burbank is going to go quickly here with some tempo, running that spread. Basaldua, the quarterback. He's got Salazar, again, just a freshman behind him, and he's their biggest rushing threat. 58 carries on the year coming in.
And I want to amend my math there. Of these seniors, 17 of them played as sophomores.
Little slant to Bolden. He's not going to get the first down. He's going to be about a yard short. Depends where they mark it. Yeah, just exactly a yard short. And so you would think Burbank would punt it here, but stranger things have happened. Playing from behind.
Yeah, a big part in this ball game if they do go for it, because obviously if they don't get it, Jeff's going to have the ball in business on that side of the field.
They get Jeff to jump. No flag, maybe free play, but it's almost intercepted. Should have been. Flag was down, so was a free play. They're going to get the first down on an offsides against Jefferson. I'll let Abe make it official. Nathan Velasquez had it in his hands, but all for naught. It was a free play.
They got him with the hard count, and we've seen this at every level of football now, where these teams have been coached to throw in a hard count every now and then. You might get somebody to jump, and that was huge on 4th down. And I kind of like what Coach Bettis did there, rolling the bones here to start the 3rd quarter, going for the jugular. I mean, that was a risky play by most accounts and made it stand up.
Zone read, little jet sweep there to Aaron Trevino. Yep, we've seen the Jefferson defense jump 2 or 3 times, so nice call there by Mark Perez's staff. Pick up that first down. 2nd down and 8 now. The Bulldogs moving it ever so slowly, but yet positive yardage nonetheless. Got a bunch stack set here. They drop it, throw it back, and it's picked off. I don't believe he controlled it. I think they're going to say it's no good. I think that's the right call.
Now the ref's all over that one, and boy, Jefferson just doing an amazing job on defense that time, sniffing out the screen all over the field on this one on all sides.
Nathan Velasquez thought he had it. The umpire came rushing up. It looks like he's got it there, but
boy, he had it.
Oh, he lost control right there. Now, I don't know if the rule's the same as it is in pro football about that completing the catch all the way to the ground, but he did have it for a while. We've got an injury in the meantime, and we'll take that break as they attend to the fallen Bulldog. We'll let you know how that's going when we come back. We're back with 3rd and 8. Burbank wants to go, and they will here with 9:29 to go. 3 receivers to the left. Basildua rolls that way, fires that way, looking for Bolden. He makes another good catch. Barely getting his feet in, but he did it earlier with a really good catch where he had only 1 down, but he knows exactly where he is on that sideline.
Yeah, Marcus Bolden, little Anquan Bolden in his game. Nice job, and really great job by the guys out front, and a great throw as well. Nice clean throwing lane in which to throw the football, and another big 3rd and long conversion.
Sets up a Kielbasa first down at midfield for the Bulldogs. Talked about Bolden earlier. Big tall kid, fast. Inside handoff to Salazar. Freshman pounds forward for about 3.
Yeah. Bolden getting a lot of playing time as a sophomore, had 3 scores a year ago.
Hey, that's the hardware we're going to hand out tonight to either Jefferson or Burbank. Courtesy of our good friends over at Monarch Trophy Studio. If you need an award, a plaque, a business award, team sports, anything, just give them a call at mtsawards.com at 210-344-3777. Swing pass to Salazar, makes a man miss. Actually, he doesn't. That kid, Jonathan Cortez, there hanging on for dear life and coming up with another good tackle. Cortez is the young man who made the tackle in the end zone for the safety, so he's having a big night.
Yeah, and a really good job there, too, because that was his man. He's out there kind of playing free safety in the middle of the field. Read the screen all the way and did not miss when it was his turn to come down and take the ball carrier.
Got to wrap up in space as Burbank's thinking about the play they want to run here.
Let's see if they bring some extra hats this time, because they're having a hard time getting to the quarterback on these 3rd and longs.
Boss will do a straight drop. Going to run it. Gets away. Has some room. Showing some speed. And he gets dragged down inside the 30. A huge play by the Burbank Bulldogs before Micah Garcia brought him down. Boss will do it, showing some wheels.
Yeah, I mean, he had over, but he can put it on the ground too, and this is what happens. Jeff did bring an extra guy to try to put some heat on the quarterback, but Basildua reading it all the way, found a crease and then got the ball up the field and was 1 tackle away from taking that thing all the way to the crib.
21-yard gain sets up another Kielbasa first down and another jump there on the hard count. Look out. Dylan Guzme almost took it to the house as well, as now Burbank starting to gash that Jefferson defense. Nathan Velasquez making the tackle.
Yeah, and mixing it up and giving Jeff a lot to look at. That's Guzme's first chance to carry the ball in this football game.
On the defense, penalties decline. First down.
He had 7 carries coming into this game, but as we take a look at this young man and in the Texas Silkscreen embroidery player profile, he is a senior, a team captain, has 2 picks on the year, and again, this is a young man that's played quarterback here. Had a bad injury last year, or the year before, I should say, that caused him to miss all of last year, but he's come back and is, one of the better athletes we're going to see on the field tonight.
We'll take a break. Burbank down 6, but driving. Knocking on the door when we come back to Alabama.
Hey, guys.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is sponsored by Lymphedema MD.
We are in the Miracle Mattress red zone, are the Burbank Bulldogs, and I'll tell you what, that Jefferson defense has been a little itchy all night. They've got another offsides call there, I believe.
Offsides on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And Edward Cardenas frustrated with his big guys up front.
5-0.
Now, and so far, this is the way you answer the bell if you're Burbank. And we talked about the quick start in the first quarter and then kind of cooled off in the second, but you go in at halftime, you regroup, and this is one heck of a drive here to start the second half.
Inside handoff. Marco Padilla gains about 1. So interesting situation here is Burbank now with a 2nd and 5.
And the young sophomore Amasquita doing a really nice job kind of bullying his way back there and wrapping up the ball carrier. We've seen some really good defensive line play from both of these teams in this ball game.
2nd down and 8. Burbank changing the play, 14 ticks, so they got plenty of time on the play clock. Bolden split to the left, looking his way all along. He's going to try to make a play on the ball, and he does. Did he catch it? Touchdown! Marcus Bolden just going up and getting it. We're all tied up with the extra point coming.
Well, the coaching staff telling us this week that Marcus Bolden does a great job of going and getting the football. That's exactly what he does here. The quarterback just kind of laying it up for his big wide receiver, and young man creating some space for himself and getting the punch, and an extra point away from giving his team the lead back.
The extra point is good, and Burbank is back in front, 17-16 here at Alamo Stadium. We're coming back to a good one on Hallmark University Thursday Night Lights. Stick around. Welcome back. Time for the America's Diamond Smile Cam. We were over at Burbank at their pep rally as the Bulldogs were getting fired up for this one tonight. Looking for their third straight win, third straight district win as well. And they are in a battle with the Jefferson Mustangs here tonight. 17-16, the Bulldogs lead it. And check it out, they even bring their own Bulldogs to the pep rally.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's real cool. 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And Burbank will kick it away. And again, Burbank has shown us a really good foot there from Elian Valdez. He's put every kick tonight about 5 yards deep.
Yeah, it's been a great ball game to this point, and it'll be interesting to see what Jeff's offense is able to do right here, because as we said in the first half, it was kind of one team doing its thing, and then in the second quarter rolling around, the other team kind of doing its thing. And now Burbank comes out with a hot start to the second half. And now we'll see if Jeff can answer the bell, get something going on their offense.
They started with a Kielbasa Smoke Meats first down. And here we go. Inside handoff going nowhere as the Bulldog defense is fired up as well. Tristan Zamora. Sebastian Perez also in on the tackle. That one blew up from the middle.
Yeah, a lot of these guys play offensive line as well on the other side, and got really good size up there, and as you see, these big guys are active. Snuffing that one out all the way. Got a little foggy visor there.
2nd and 14 for the Mustangs. Jason Garay in at quarterback. Rolling to his left. And picks up about 2. But the right end, Joe Klein and company doing a great job as we've got an injured Mustang, and it's an important one as Jalen Pena limping around out there. As their leading rusher coming into tonight's game. 319 yards on the season for tonight. Looked like he was favoring his right arm or shoulder. They've got 3rd and 12. Now, the one thing that has happened here tonight, Jason Garay has made big clutch throws on plays just like this all night long. Does he have another one up his sleeve? And if he sends old number 7, Jose Calvillo, to his left, they might try it one more time.
Yeah, I mean, because you got to give the Burbank defense a lot of credit. They're really doing a good job on a lot of these runs, forcing these 3rd and longs.
They cover him up with double coverage, and so they throw it out of the backfield. Looking for Ariza there on the little flare, but it didn't work, and so Jefferson's forced to punt.
Well, great play design. Had 2 of his wide receivers out there ready to throw blocks. They just were a little quick trying to make that happen. That's the object, obviously. You got to get the ball out there quickly and take advantage of your blockers out there, but it's a little hurried with the throw.
Asiel Perez back to punt it away. Carlos Covarrubias and Oscar Vega back. Low line drive. Caught, and a little reverse. No, a fake reverse. Covarrubias looked like he was going to pitch it. Nice trickeration, but it gets to midfield. Micah Garcia on the tackle, and it reminds us to remind you, have you registered your squad for the San Antonio All-Star Cheer Challenge? Tuesday is the deadline, so go to the CW35.com, submit a photo of your team's cheer squad, tell us why they're the best. Top 2 vote getters are going to get money, $1,000 grant and a $500 grant. The top 4 squads will cheer on national television, the U.S. Army All-American Bowl on News 4 San Antonio and NBC Sports, and also the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by HEB that Chuck and I will call right here on the CW35. Saturday, January 6th, both games in the Alamo Dome. Again, Tuesday the deadline, so sign up for the cheer challenge. 1st down and 10 for Burbank. Inside handoff to Padilla. And Santiago Reimers brings him down, but not before he picks up about 5.
Just a little extra pep in this Burbank step as they come out of halftime here. I mean, they go on the long drive and then get a nice little pickup there on first down. Just a little bit extra energy, it looks like, for the Bulldogs as they begin this second half of play.
Yep, some energy from Padilla, who replaces Salazar in the backfield. And another pre-snap penalty. And it's going to be a false start or illegal motion on the Burbank Bulldogs.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Second down and 10 after the 5-yard gain. They're back where they started. Up 1. 5:11 to play here in the third quarter.
Coaching staff really likes this young man. Russell Dua, he talked about what a great family he comes from. Father's still active duty, military. Said a lot of what this kid brings. He's a leader, good-natured kid, guy that teammates kind of rally around. He's one of those guys with a lot of charisma. They say it all comes from mommy and daddy. And I think the coaching staff was selling itself short, obviously. I mean, Don, I'm sure we can speak to the fact that these coaches do such a great job with these guys and these players and teaching them life lessons along the way. But again, the coaching staff just couldn't see a young man, not only as a player, but just as a young man in general. Really blossoming in every sense of the word. As a quarterback, as a human being. And that's kind of what this is all about.
Absolutely. And a little frustrated right there with their offense not being able to get lined up right a couple different times, but they took a timeout to get it straightened up. But as you're right, Chuck, a lot of great young men playing this game around town. As Basildua rolls out, fires, it's caught, and it's good enough for a Kielbasa first down as the Burbank Bulldogs keep moving the change. Juan Urbiola, the receiver, making his first catch, his 5th of the year.
And Urbiola doing a really nice job there, just finding the soft spot in the zone and just settling down. And another pinpoint pass and a huge play there on 2nd and long.
3 very dangerous threats split to the left. That's Bolden, Guzme, and Trevino, who now comes in motion to the right side. They hand it off inside to Padilla. And again, that young man sparking this offense with some good tough running. He picks up 8 or 9 before Itler Mabula brings him down for the Jefferson defense.
And that's the thing about this Burbank offense. I mean, obviously, this is a run-first team, but they do have very explosive players on the outside. So as a defense, you got to respect it. And then, you're trying to cover all these things up, and all of a sudden, you got a lot of problems on your hand. And we're going to certainly hope for the best for a young man that has really had a whale of a ball game tonight, Ian Garcia. I mean, this kid, easily when you're talking about the first half, if we were going to name a player of the game, this guy would be right up there at the top. So hopefully he's all right and just a little banged up.
Maybe a little cramped up there, it would appear. We'll take a break, and when we come back, the Bulldogs will have it with 2nd and 2 on Hallmark University Thursday Night Lights. Welcome back to the Rock Pile. 2nd and 2 for Burbank. They've got a 1-point lead over Jefferson, and they're knocking on the door at the Mustang 30. On Basildua, look at reverse. Guzme, Basildua's up there to block for him. Guzme to the 10. Guzme, touchdown Burbank. Just like they drew it up.
Oh man, there's nothing like a play that reverses field sometimes to, you've kind of been setting that up all night long with your play calling, and then you do one of these where you bounce it outside. The thing I loved about this play, Basildua knew there was a defender closing in closest to him, but then he realized, hey man, the fastest guy in the field right now, Guzme's got the ball. I'm going to go down and try to find a 3rd-level guy to block.
Excellent.
He knew who was running it, yep.
High snap, good hold. Kick is up and good. An adventure, but it's good enough for 7, and Burbank leads 24-16.
Look at 12. He's eyeing. He's like, nah, man, he's got this one. I'm going to go find another guy. And then he did. Gets a little chip block there at the end, and Guzme goes in upright.
Take a look at the scoring drive. 31-yard touchdown by Dylan Guzme. Only took 4 plays and 50 yards, and just like that, Burbank has come back and reestablished what they did in the first quarter. Will Jefferson be able to answer? They did in the first half. We'll see if they can do it here again in the second half as well.
Yeah, I don't know what Coach Pettis said at halftime to kind of reignite his ball club, but obviously that's one of those things you want to bottle up and take with you the rest of the season, because whatever was said, whatever the coaches gave these guys to chew on at the break, they've absolutely come out on both sides of the ball. You know, to start, go down and get a touch and set the tone for the rest of the half in terms of their offense, and then their defense has bowed up and stoned Jefferson's offense.
All right, so Edward Cardenas and his Jefferson Mustangs have a chance to answer. They'll get the kick here. Again, Elian Valdez has been brilliant on kickoffs tonight. And extra points as well. That last one, he had to really concentrate. It was a high snap. Late getting down, but he drilled it. And he's, again, put this one right at about the 5. He's going to, Jefferson's going to have to get on it right there. Pena trying to get outside. And he's brought down right at the 6. Burbank special teams coming up big.
Marco Padilla down there and others. As you can see, 44 jog off and holding his shoulder. James Vallejo. Yeah, he's kind of been in and out of this lineup tonight, so he might be a little nicked up.
Here's the rest of Burbank's schedule. Again, 2 district wins, looking for their 3rd straight tonight. And then they've got Sam Houston, Edison, Memorial, Brack, and Lanier at the end of the season.
Yeah, they've really set themselves up nicely, obviously, with this quick start. And they've got some games on there that probably feel like they can win. And then, boy, how big is that Lanier game potentially down there at the last game to end the regular season?
You know, and looking at that schedule, Chuck, it broke my heart to see Lanier at the very last game of the season not playing Fox Tech right here in the Chili Bowl. That was such a great rivalry. Always enjoyed that every year. Fox Tech, of course, no longer has a football program, and they ended that rivalry, but man, that was fun. That was some of the best high school football atmosphere you would ever see.
Yeah, it's like that, you know, that's what's so great about, I don't hate to see this young man come up hobbled. He certainly had a whale of a ball game, but that's the great thing about just all over the city, you know. We get all these games, and, you know, these districts are so competitive and so tight. And not a surprise that we got a ball game here tonight, although Burbank is really starting to assert itself here in this 3rd quarter.
All right, Jefferson inside handoff. Good yardage. Pena is slung forward, but picks up about 7 or 8.
Yeah, nice play on a little trap there. And well, just what Jefferson needed, kind of dig itself out of that hole. You go from, you know, a potential 3rd and long situation to 3rd and manageable with the whole playbook kind of at your disposal. Jefferson needs to kind of answer this bell to quell the storm that they've had to face here in the 3rd quarter.
3rd and 2 for the Mustangs. Desperately trying to keep this drive alive and this game alive. Ariza's got it on a sweep, and he's brought down from behind, and 2 flags fly for a horse collar. That'll be a personal foul, 15, and a 1st down for the Mustangs. Isaac Cantu, if my eyes don't fail me, grabbed him right in a textbook horse collar.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Because we had one of these a couple of weeks ago where it looked like one, but it really wasn't. But it's, again, it's a hard call to officiate when you see a guy go down like that.
Horse collar on the defense. Automatic 1st down.
All right, fans don't like it, but I thought I saw it from all the way up here. Let's see. Reaches inside that back neck right there. That's exactly a textbook. You know why? Is because the legs of the runner are so susceptible.
Sure.
when you do that.
And you're right, another great call. Yeah, we had one last week. Remember, the guy took him down backwards like that.
But he didn't really grab him in.
That's correct. But he dragged him down and then tucked his legs under the ball carrier and dragged him down that way. And you're right, man. Legs are very susceptible to nasty injuries when a guy gets dragged down from behind like that.
That's why they put the rule in about a decade ago and just can't reach there around that neck roll to bring somebody down. All right, 2nd down and 11. Jefferson gets that penalty, gets a new set of downs. Run the same play to Ariza that had the horse collar. He's trying to get outside, does. Turns the corner, gets all the way to the 40. 38 rather. And talking about playing to the whistle or through the whistle, Burbank defense pursuing all the way to the stripe.
Yeah, and Ariza doing a really nice job there and a great play design with the blockers out in front. And, you know, there was at one point where Ariza was being patient and then just decided, you know what? I got some of these big fellas that are out here pulling, but at some point I got to turn on the jets and see how much I can get out of this. Just a great all-around play by Jeff on that particular one.
1st down. Although going backwards is Garay that time as Burbank defense came up. Marco Padilla coming up from his linebacker spot. Take another look at one of our Texas Silkscreen and Embroidery player profiles. And Malachi Dunbar for Jefferson, big 71 up front. Clearing some of those holes, plays football, track, involved in the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. He too goes beyond the game, reading to those young Mustangs. He's doing a great job blocking tonight. Good seal block there. And maybe 3 for Garay because Guzman comes up and makes a nice tackle.
You know, it's so funny. He was talking just to the Burbank coaches about these reading programs that these kids are involved in, going to the schools and reading to the young kids. One of the coaches told me, they go, these guys, they don't get nervous when they're playing football games, but they were actually nervous, some of them, when they start reading to these kids because they don't realize the impact that they're having on them. And then when they do it, they see the kids light up. You know, it's such a special thing when, you know, see kids from the high school go to the elementary school and they're dressed in their uniforms, and that's a big deal for little kids. And I don't think it occurred to these players that they're role models even at their age.
Firing across the middle, looking for his man, and just overshot the intended receiver, Brandon Castellanos. Nice play call there. I like that. Rolling to his right and throwing back to the middle. Castellanos had a step. He just missed him by about a foot.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've talked about Bessel Dua all night long in the throws that he's made. I mean, he's been deadly accurate with these things. I mean, he gets that ball, and he is rolling a little bit to his left. He's got some guys barreling down, trying to square him up, and he let that thing fly, and that was darn near a perfect pass.
So the drive stalls on 4th and 13 with 13 seconds to go in the quarter. Jefferson will punt it away. And Burbank will watch it take a Jefferson hop all the way down to the 29, and we'll go down to Mike Hernandez. Mike? Hello, Mike.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I think Chuck mentioned earlier that whatever the coach said to the Burbank Bulldogs at halftime seems to be working. I'll tell you what, the difference that I saw was the coaches. They came out, they're extremely animated. They were really, really trying to pump up the players. The players have really, really turned that around. And as you saw, you know, every time there's a big play, they're jumping up and down. They've really done something has clicked, and you can see it on the field right now. And on the other side, I'm having problems understanding why Jefferson continues to try to run the ball up the middle when they are getting that long pass down the sideline. And in the first half, they were able to take both sides, left and right, around the corners. I don't get it.
You know what that sounds like, Mike? That sounds like a Jefferson alumnus playing a little Monday morning quarterback.
Maybe a little bit.
Well, it's interesting. The game plan to this point, you know, it really worked out well for Jefferson. You know, they weren't throwing it much, but when they were getting some huge plays downfield. So, you know, part of this and part of the success in the throwing game comes from when you're pounding the rock as much as you are and you're making the defense focus in on that, that's when you take your shots downfield. I mean, I think, you know, if you ask the UTSA coaches, that's the object of their game plan. They want to pound you into submission, and then when you start really allocating manpower,
putting men in the box.
That's right. That's when you take your shots downfield. So, to this point, I think it's gone pretty well for both of these programs. I mean, this is a one-score game, and we're ticking this thing down in the third quarter.
One more snap here in the third, and then we'll switch ends. Bulldogs football, 1st and 10. And Burbank with a 24-16 lead here on the last play of the third quarter. Trevino comes in motion. And another pre-snap penalty.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
So it'll be 1st and 15. A lot of those when Burbank has the football tonight.
Well, again,
equal amount of offsides and false starts.
Yeah, I mean, but this is a program, too, that we talked about. All these young guys kind of growing up in the system. And they had 13 sophomores playing last year, so still a lot of young guys on this team, although tons of experience as well.
Padilla, check that, Salazar with the carry to end the quarter. And when we come back, Jefferson will try to rally. They did so in the second quarter. Can they do it in the fourth? A good one here on the CW35. You're watching Hallmark University Thursday Night Lights. Welcome back. Our Hallmark University third quarter highlights. All Burbank as they came out fired up here in the second half, led by Julian Basildua. That 21-yard run set up the only score of the quarter. And that was the reverse of 31 yards by Dylan Guzme. Oh, sorry, the touchdown pass to Bolden happened first. That was an 8-yard score. And then Guzme went 31 yards on the reverse, and Burbank has a 24-16 lead. And the football, I might add, as we get ready to snap it here to start the third quarter. Dylan Guzme taking it to the house right there. He'd like to do that again here on 2nd down and 9. They fire it out, and that might be picked. Oh, that was a dangerous play for the Burbank offense. Nathan Velasquez had it read, and I thought he might get that off the bounce and go to the house.
Yeah, these stats finally even up in this football game. Darn near identical in just about every single category. But again, it's just the quick start of Burbank and their offense. I mean, having 2 straight drives where they've scored, and then also the defense doing a really good job of holding down Jefferson. And this is a really big point in the game for the Jeff defense because, as we said, Burbank's been on a roll to start this second half. They've got to find a way to stem the tide and get the ball back to their offense.
3rd down and 9. Big, big play for that Jefferson defense. And we've got whistles. And we may have a timeout.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Another false start. Again, equal amount of false starts. And Burbank's also been able to draw Jeff off sides quite a bit. So a unique cadence, I would assume, from Julian Basildua for that to continue to happen. Hadn't been clean, that's for sure, for both teams in that regard. 3rd and 14, so that's big. Basildua wants to go deep. He's got a man wide open. It's Guzman.
Not going to get him.
Oh, the goose is loose again. Dylan Guzman, 75 yards on a 3rd and 14 critical play for the Burbank Bulldogs.
Unbelievable speed from Dylan Guzme, and talking to the coaches before the game, they said he's got legit 4.4 speed if he wants it. So once he gets the ball and he's got a yard worth of space, you can just about forget about it. Unless you're Carl Lewis, you're not bringing him down, but it was really all you can eat because big Aaron Trevino, their star tight end that they love so much, number 88, was also wide open in the middle of the field. It just so happened, when your quarterback is rolling to his left like that, Basildua, the guy that flashed first was going to get the ball, and in this particular case, it was Guzme.
We had a penalty that I would assume would be marked off on the celebration penalty. I guess I couldn't pick up the microphone. Either way, Burbank will be on to kick the extra point. Carlos Martinez, little hitch kick. Had to double pump that one and missed it. So it's 30-16 with 11:42 left. And Dylan Guzme with his second touchdown of the second half has given the Bulldogs some cushion here at the Rock Pile. Welcome back, Dylan Guzme with his second touchdown in the second half. That one 75 yards on the nice strike from Julian Basildua.
Yeah, what an athlete this guy is. Doing it in the classroom as well. One of those all-around kind of guys that the coaching staff just loves. And you know, we talked about him playing quarterback and then he got hurt, but he knows the offense inside and out. Also playing on defense. Speed is plus, but they really like him outside on both sides of the ball. And you can see why tonight after he blazed down the field for that last score.
This one's returnable here. Pena to the 30 has a seam, but he takes a big lick. And the guy who dished it out is Jeremy Ruiz, and he's smarting a bit.
Yeah, he's playing with guts and guile at this point. I mean, it's been every time he's coming off the field, a little wobbly.
James Vallejo was 44. I had my teams mixed up. The fullback who made that jarring tackle, looks like he may have hurt his shoulder a little bit. So it's now or never for the Jefferson Mustangs. Got to score on just about every possession now to have a shot at it. Inside handoff. Drawing the raised eyebrows of one Mike Hernandez.
Another hanky.
Yep, another.
Oh, glad he's working so hard under the tent. Hello.
All you do is sit there and
Boston.
second guess your coaches.
Yeah. Anything else you got for us down there?
Got a cold one sitting back.
I do. Thank you very much. All right, they need to air the ball
On the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Let's see some offense.
Yeah, notice not a hair out of place either.
What year did you graduate from Jefferson, Mike?
It was me, Fred Flintstone, Barney, and Wilmer. This is 74.
74.
Right.
In our day, we threw the football. And we liked it.
Man, I wasn't even born yet.
We used rocks instead of a football. We just shaped it.
And we loved it. There was none of this running up the middle stuff. First down and 10. Running for his life and not going anywhere is Garay. Joe Klein, who made a big fumble recovery early, makes another big tackle there, and will set up second and 16.
Yeah, I think Garay would like to have this one back. I mean, you got to love the kid as a quarterback. His eyes looking downfield. He thought about flipping it out over to the left side here to Jalen Pena, his safety valve. Instead, he thought, yeah, I can get away from the defender, make a play downfield. Just didn't turn out the way he was hoping.
I think we need to get a new sponsor. The Mike Hernandez Lounge. Get a Lazy Boy. Somebody sign up Lazy Boy. Get Mike a big Barca lounger there on the sidelines.
Tell you, we just showed Joe Klein, the young man for Burbank, and playing on the defensive line, and the coaches just rave about this kid too. Only weighs about 150 pounds, and he just said he just keeps showing up. He's super coachable. The effort level is just off the charts, and also gives him some speed there on the edge. But you don't see a whole lot of 150-pound defensive ends, even at the high school level.
And another penalty as somebody moved.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat third down.
I'll tell you what, Abe's triceps are going to be in great shape after calling all these false starts tonight. He's had a workout.
Well, it's been tough sledding, obviously, for Jefferson here in the second half, and you have to really give credit to what's going on the Burbank side of the football. I mean, you tend to have false starts and some of these things of that nature when the opposing defense, especially the boys up front, are getting after you.
9:30 left in the ball game. Jefferson down by 14, fired down the sideline, has a man, a nice defensive effort to knock it away. It was Juan Escobedo.
Yeah, again, he's looking to take a shot downfield, but the guy that ran the slant on that formation, number 82, Brandon Castellanos, was open. And just a great job there at the end by Juan Escobedo to get his hand up and knock that thing away. Fourth down, they're going to have to punt it.
And they will. Osiel Perez standing at about his own 37. Gets it off. It's a short, low kick. Hit a Burbank player and will roll out of bounds at about the 20. And we'll take a break. When we come back, the Bulldogs will be looking to ground and pound and run some clock and hang on here at Alamo Stadium. They lead at 30-16. Hey, we were over at Jeff for our America's Diamond Smile Cam. Look at that, the Lassos got it going on. Having a good time at their pep rally, all part of our America's Diamond Smile Cam. A lot to smile about for both teams. Two good efforts here tonight. Jefferson High School, a legendary architectural feat on the cover of Life magazine back in the 1950s as the most perfect school in the entire country.
Yeah, the 1950s reference kind of in line with some of ours tonight.
Yeah, Life magazine. What's Life magazine?
Who's Fred Flintstone?
Yeah, we've been all over the place tonight. You referenced Carl Lewis, and I was wondering if any high school kids watching have any idea who Carl Lewis was. Might as well say Jesse Owens.
Right.
I was talking about Phil Harris and the great Darrell Royal 1963 National Championship team. These kids were born in the 2000s.
I know, it seems like just yesterday for us, obviously, or we wouldn't be throwing them out there as badly as we are tonight.
Mike brought up Fred and Barney and Wilma. Yabba dabba doo.
I just watched Looney Tunes again last night on another network.
2nd and 5, Salazar up the middle. Good for a kielbasa first down. Don't forget to register your team for our cheer squad. We've told you numerous times tonight that the deadline is Tuesday. 4 squads will get a cheer on national TV, the Army All-American Bowl, or the San Antonio Sports All-Star Game presented by HEB. Just go to the CW35.com and register. Your squad has a chance at winning big-time bucks, $1,000 first place, $500 grant second place. All thanks to San Antonio Sports, CPS, and HEB sponsoring the All-Star Game that we'll bring to you on the CW35. We'll also have the Army All-American Bowl on News 4, San Antonio, NBC, on that Saturday in January. We've got another injury on the field, and we'll take a break while they tend to the young man. We'll be right back.
You get time out.
Hand off to Luna. That's a nice call. Luna's got space. Luna, touchdown, Bulldog. Marcos Luna, 50 yards. What a call. Nathan Villalobos with the Oski, and he took it to the house. Jeremy Sanchez fakes it, keeps it. Sanchez with room. Sanchez, touchdown, Bulldog.
How easy are these guys making it look right now? This is jaw-dropping.
2013, 37 points in the fourth quarter. One of the great comebacks we ever saw.
When I reference calling these games and people ask me what games stand out, that to me was the one that stands out the most of all the games that we've done. And we've had some good ones. You know, that league game we did, week 1 this year, was off the charts as well, but that Burbank Highlands game for me was pretty darn special.
Yeah, it was like just a switch went on in the fourth quarter. that ball may have come out and fallen back on his Marco Padilla, but yeah, they were dead in the water and they just flipped a switch. And that number 10 that night was special all over the field.
Yeah, I think the astonishing thing is that I thought that was literally 2 years ago and it was 4.
Ain't that
Good ball.
wild?
Yeah.
Personal foul on the offense. Penalty. Second down.
Don't forget our Beyond the Game campaign that we're running this year. Don't forget to nominate teams that you know are going beyond the game, showing those qualities of respect, selfless service, integrity, caring, personal courage, sportsmanship. These kids that do things like go down and help in Rockport or Houston, or have food drives, or do things in their own community, reading to middle schoolers and elementary school kids. Seen a couple of the programs over on the North Side District working with special needs kids, letting them run out through their banner with them. So if you know a good team that's going beyond the game, let us know about it. U.S. Army helping us this year with that great initiative. Marco Padilla running straight forward. And Burbank content now to chew up some of this clock, up 30-16, 2 touchdowns.
There's a party in the stands too. I mean, this Burbank crowd, you could tell, I mean, this has been a work in progress that has taken a couple of years, and this is one of those things that Coach Pettis, he recognized early that they had some talent, but it was young talent, so they were going to kind of let this team grow up through the years, play a lot of young guys, let them take their lumps early, and it is all starting to pay off.
Third down and long. Guzme cannot break out of that tackle, so that'll set up 4th down and about 12, and Burbank will punt it away to the Jefferson Mustangs.
But again, this is a ball club that really, even in its 2 losses, felt like if they hadn't made mistakes, they could have won those games. And then conversely, once league play started, man, they've been clicking. 2-0. Good showing here again tonight. It's saying it, kind of the same thing of what's going on with Jeff, too. We've got some young guys they're letting grow up, and both of these teams, they're going to be tough competition going through the league play.
Yeah, Burbank sitting pretty with a chance at a district championship at this point. Micah Garcia's got it. He's trying to break tackles, but does so to the 25-yard line. Jumps up, fired up. Juan Urbiola with the tackle. Juan Escobedo.
Yeah, Juan Escobedo. I mean, what a motor on that kid. He was the first guy down there and got juked. He was the first guy in on the tackle, so he got 2 cracks and made the most of the second one. Gotta like the motor there.
6 minutes to go. Jefferson can tie this thing up with 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points with 6 minutes to go. Do they have it in them? Pena trying to get outside. Brought down at the 40. Hey, check it out, Chuck. We've got a graphic. It's time for the uniform czar, the Gentle Musings. Hey, I like the Burbank uniform. It looks Cleveland Browns-like for a little bit, but you have an interesting dynamic. On one side of the helmet, you have the Fresno State Bulldog. On the other side, you have the clean number. So I like how they mix that up, and I like how they've taken the Fresno State Bulldog. It's a little bit hard to see, but it's a good logo nonetheless. I like their shoulder stripes. So that's a good look. I give them a solid B+. Not a giant fan of the uniform of the numeral font. On their coaching staff, I think you're going to like this, Chuck, because on the Burbank coaching staff, they have the Boston Red Sox B. And so they've taken a little bit of
the Grand Old
Fresno
game.
State,
Yeah.
and a little bit of the Grand Old game there with your old Boston Red Sox B. So that's also a very clean, traditional look there. So that's the coach's outfits. 2 thumbs up, A+.
Okay. I'm going to say 2 things. First of all, they're not my Boston Red Sox,
right,
so I'm going to hammer you for that. And then secondly, for you to compare Burbank to the Cleveland Browns, you just insulted everybody on the Burbank side. They could beat the Cleveland Browns. Okay.
Just have that little look to them a little bit.
I've seen both squads, and my money's going down on Burbank.
Because they've got black pants, and
okay.
Orange and black goes better than orange and brown. Nothing goes with brown. Nice run up the middle.
Oh, look out.
He might break it. Pena to the 30 and all the way down to the 29-yard line. And the Mustangs hanging in there.
Yeah, Brian Lopez doing a really nice job to keep that from being a score, but just what Jefferson needed as we wind this clock in the fourth quarter. Needed some sort of spark here in the second half, much like what they got in the second quarter when they raced back to take the lead. We'll see if they can get down and try to make this a one-score game.
Sprint out, flag flies as he throws over the middle, and it's just dropped by Arturo Calvillo, but again, a flag down. We'll have to sort out this penalty. And you know where I'm going with the uniforms with the Jefferson Mustangs. It's the SMU Mustangs. But there's one unique little difference. The SMU...
Got illegal formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
The Jefferson Pony has a much longer tail than the SMU Pony. Have you noticed that? And almost like something going through it. Like a tomahawk or something. It's very interesting.
Or maybe it was like a toothpick, just ended up in the wrong spot. I mean,
hey, it's a good look, though. Very classic look for Jefferson. Yeah, very clean. Kielbasa first down is deciding to run it is Garay.
Yeah, just a great decision there by that young man. He had that all day long. Just take what's in front of you right now. Keep moving the sticks.
Intern Derek, our crack statistician and spotter, pointing out to the old guys that that's not paint on the helmet. It's the hole that's part of the helmet, a vent, an air vent.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just blaming my old eyes. That's exactly what it is.
Still, the tail's a little long.
D-Mage. But you know what? I was going to say, D-Mage has got glasses too, so let's not give him too much
You know
credit.
what it looks like? It looks like pin the tail on the donkey.
Well, at least we know it's not a toothpick. That's good.
Which is all Mike Hernandez could play because they didn't have any other games invented yet. Right, Mike?
Whatever you say, brother.
That's
a good one. That's a good one.
Garay keeping and doing a nice job across the 35-yard line near the 30 as we tick inside of 4 minutes. Kevin Govea there, and we've got a new quarterback in David Perez running out there, number 5, to take snaps for the Mustangs. Seen him in a couple of games this year.
There only one pass attempt on the season, so hopefully Garay's okay.
He's going to let it sling it lefty. Incomplete, intended for Arturo Calvillo.
So Perez, just a junior, actually not a senior. And you're getting a chance to see if he can spark this offense. And again, we're not really sure what happened to Garay.
Yeah, he was limping a little bit earlier as well, remember? When he was on the sidelines and came in and bravely played on that drive. Perez has 4th and 14, so absolutely Jefferson's last shot at it. He's looking for Calvillo, and it's almost intercepted. And Burbank will take over. Carlos Covarrubias defending the play. And Calvillo, who's made a couple of really nice catches tonight, won a couple of touchdowns. But right now it's time for our pick and pull collision of the game. And Chuck, we had a couple of good nominees.
Wow, yeah, we had about a half dozen in this one.
Chris Kotfa's picking this one as our collision of the game.
Oh.
Big 55 coming up, and watch the span of John Elway here. The 360 move. It's amazing after that hit by Devin Cardenas that we were wondering if Garay's okay. He shouldn't have been okay right there, but battled back all night.
I don't know. We had like the periodic chart completely covered with double nickel and wood.
First down handoff, good for about a yard. And it looks like Mark Perez in his 6th season here with Burbank will get out of here with another W. It'll be the third in a row for the Burbank Bulldogs. They will go to 3-2 on the year. And another impressive performance after whipping Kennedy last week, 48-8. It looks like they'll get out of here with their third consecutive district win, and they'll be right there in the hunt for a district championship, it would appear.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. And, you know, we're talking to the coaches this week. Was there a play, was there a moment where you really felt like this thing was starting to kickstart itself, or where you thought the kids believed? And he said, honestly, since week 1 against Pearsall, this team mentally was in a different place than it was the year before. And, you know, they went out the Pearsall game and they played a team that was infinitely bigger than they were, and they were right in that game. And then we talked about Moody and the great start that they're off to. And when they play Highlands, did a couple of onside kicks and really had the Owls on their heels. But, you know, I think when you beat a program like Highlands and established as they've been the last couple of years, you can't help but know you've got a decent team at that point. And then again, you know, we talked about run, and they like to do that first, but they do have weapons. They've got guys with speed. They've got playmakers on defense. I mean, Covarrubias, who knocked down that 4th down play, I mean, that kid's got 4 picks on the year. So I think everybody in the league's on notice that these guys have got some players, and you better be ready to play when you're playing the Burbank Bulldogs. And it's cool when you see these teams make these giant strides that you know, in terms of wins and losses, it appears that they're giant strides, but it's been a slow build and a process getting to this, and it's, you know, the fruits of their labor. They got 2 new coordinators. So you look on the sideline, brought some life and energy to the program as well. It's just cool to watch these things kind of transpire year in and year out.
Absolutely, and they have also given us our Night Office Solutions Play of the Night. Marcus Bolden making the big catch. It gave him the lead. This was after Jefferson, remember, rallied to take the lead. 3rd quarter play, Bolden with that 8-yard touchdown catch is going up to give him a 17-16 lead, and the Bulldogs have never looked back. Little counter delay coming this way is Vallejo, and Vallejo still on his feet, rumbling across the 35 down to the 34. That'll stop the clock to move the chains. Jefferson with 1 timeout left, down 14. And just a nice call, almost a little Statue of Liberty look to that.
Yeah, Vallejo on another mission.
I get it.
Yeah, it was Chris Codvis, our producer, feed me as usual. If it's a good line, it's coming from somebody else, bro.
Yeah, the Gooses lose came from intern Derek. I'll admit it.
They're calling each other out. That's good. Oh,
loose ball. Still on the turf. Behind the 50-yard line, back to the 49.
Boy, just a great job to get back on that football. If you're the Burbank Bulldogs, and Russell Dula doing everything he can right there. You got a little turf burn, road rash, but it was worth it because, I mean, the last thing you want to do here as the clock winds inside of 3 minutes is give Jefferson any kind of hope or spark here at the end. Just manage this game and get the heck out of here and get a victory.
So 2nd down and 26 as we tick inside of 2 minutes. They'll be content with running it to Padilla. He gets about 5 of it back as we take a look at what's coming up this weekend. A lot of good football. Right here on the CW35, we got Syracuse and North Carolina State.
Kid from Judson playing for Syracuse this weekend.
Iowa and Michigan State. Great new tradition there at Iowa. The fans waved at the Children's Hospital. That's really, really cool. Oklahoma and Texas Tech is going to put up some big-time numbers. Coming up on Fox, we got the Saints and Dolphins bright and early from London. And then the Rams and Cowboys at noon. And then on Sunday Night Football, the Colts and Seahawks on News 4. So a full weekend on the 3 networks. Here's Vallejo again on 3rd down.
I'll tell you what, this has been one physical football game between these 2 teams, and And we saw Vallejo, every time that kid has gotten up, he's had to kind of shake the cobwebs off, and he's had a lot of company. This has been two teams going at it like a heavyweight fight, trying to establish district supremacy early on in the league play action. It's been everything that we could have hoped for tonight. Both teams slugging it out and making the most of the opportunity here this evening.
So about a minute left. Time for us to remind you to make sure you vote for your favorite band. Jefferson tonight was band 9. Just text it to 44332. Or Burbank at band 10 to the same number. You can go to cw35.com for all the texting guidelines. And one lucky band, not lucky, the band that gets the most votes all year long is going to win that $5,000 band grant thanks to our friends at Sprouts Farmers Market. Smile Cam fired up, Burbank fans fired up. Going to get a W here at Alamo Stadium tonight. There's a punt. It's going to bounce at the 20, back to about the 24-yard line. And don't forget to stick around after the game. Penn and Teller fool us, and then whose line is it anyway? That's all coming up after TNL right here on the CW35.
Yeah, we're happy to bring you Hallmark University Thursday Night Lights once again. We have a bye next week, mid-season, but it's just really hard to believe. We were talking about this at work the other day that we are halfway through our schedule already for 2017.
Hard to believe. Hard to believe.
Yes, it's flown by again.
And look at what's coming up in the back half. Brennan Holmes, O'Connor again. Boy, how good are they? Edison and Highlands, and then Madison and Reagan and Steele and Clemens. So some good district battles straight ahead of us.
And I really like our TNL top 10. Getting some new blood in here every week. Look at Uvalde coming in there. Southwest off to a great start. New Braunfels playing in that really tough schedule, a tough district. Off to a great start at 3-1.
Hey, how about these Burbank Bulldogs?
That's what I'm talking about.
I need to sneak in there at some point.
And then some usual suspects as we go 7 through 1. But hey, Smithson Valley, don't go to sleep on those guys. I mean, it's just on and on and on. Judson O'Connor obviously looked the part. There's some darn fine football teams in this town again this year. And some more ASCO collisions.
And there's what should be the last play of the game as Burbank brings Pena down, and the Bulldogs will win their third consecutive District 28 5A game. Nice effort by the Jefferson Mustangs, showing a lot of fight there in the second quarter to come back to take the lead briefly. But Mark Perez and his Burbank Bulldogs have really turned it around after an 0-2 start. And as we told you earlier, that 0-2 there was no shame in that, losing 27-19 to Pearsall and 22-17 to Moody. So this is a team that's been in every game that has played this year and has won the last 3.
Yeah, and very efficient on offense tonight. And again, I still think they're waiting to unleash the fury with all this. You know, they kind of lull you to sleep, sucker punch you with the runs, but boy, they're going to start to use those weapons more and more, I think, on the outside as the season rolls on.
When we come back, we'll hand out our Monarch trophies to the player of the game, and we'll give that man right there his team trophy. Bulldogs win it at the Rock Pile, 30-16. Come back for the postgame show after this.
Welcome to the Hallmark University Thursday Night Lights postgame report.
Welcome back. Burbank wins their third straight in district play, beating Jefferson 30-16. Let's hand out the hardware and go down to the field. Mike Hernandez, an excited group of Bulldogs.
Yeah, you guys excited? Yeah! Just a little bit, just a little bit. Great game, guys, offensively, defensively. I don't know what happened between the first and second half, but whatever it is, you had a fire lit under you, and you all really played a good game. Give yourselves a hand. MVP MVP for today, and we could have gone a lot of ways with this, but we're going to go with number 2, your senior, Dylan Guzman. Congratulations, man. So, you had 2 TDs, one on that 31-yard reverse, and then that 75-yard pass that you caught there. You touched the ball 4 times. You scored 2 TDs. That's not a bad night.
Yes, sir. It just wasn't for me. It was for my team. Shout out to the Burbank squad. Hey, boy, let's go, baby! Let's go! It wasn't me. It was all them. I swear, it was all them. It wasn't me.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, Coach. Yes, sir. I got to know, what did you tell them at halftime? It not only fired up the players, but all the coaches came out fired out too.
We've been here before. We've been here before, and I told them how we're going to respond. You know, the bad situations we've been talking about since they were freshmen. You know, and I told these guys throughout life there's going to be some bad situations. How you can respond, and those that stay will be champions. And we're on the road. We're on that road.
You sure are. And you know what? You guys are looking real good. 3-0 in district now. You've got some games ahead of you that are tough, but you also have some games that you should win. This puts you in a pretty good spot this early in the season.
Well, every game out here in SCIT is going to be a dogfight, and we're going to keep on getting better and hopefully heal up. You got a tough game next week against Sam Houston, and we're going to enjoy tonight and get ready for next week.
Good. So, without further ado, I'm going to let you present it to your players. The winners tonight, 30-16, your Burbank Bulldogs.
Welcome back. It's a wrap at the Rock Pile. Burbank over Jefferson, 30-16. Time for our final Hallmark University highlights. Big time defense early as Burbank. Joe Klein jumped on that fumble. James Vallejo made it 7-0 Bulldogs. Alien Valdez kicked a 29-yarder to make it 10-0, but Jeff came back in a hurry. Jose Cavillo with that touchdown catch made it 10-7. Then it was a big interception by Ian Garcia. That set up Jonathan Cortez on this fumbled snap in the end zone. Got a safety, and it was a 1-point game, 10-9. And then Jefferson took the lead. Eric Ariza with the 30-yard touchdown. But in the third quarter, it was all Bulldogs. As Mike said, they came out with new passion. Marcus Bolden with the 8-yard touchdown. Burbank went in front, and they never trailed after that. Our player of the game, Dylan Guzman, going 31 yards on the reverse. He would add a 75-yard touchdown catch later on a crucial 3rd and 14 call. And Burbank wins it going away 30-16. And the Bulldogs continue their winning streak with their 3rd straight. Dylan Guzman, our player of the game. You know, Chuck and I are getting a little long in the tooth, so we need a week off. It's bye-week time, but when we come back, it'll be a week from next Thursday, October the 12th. We got Brennan and Holmes as we head over to Northside, and then we'll finish out the rest of the schedule. And looking forward to seeing you here on the CW35 on both UTSA football and TNL. Chris Kotfus doing a great job in the truck as always, along with our director Brian Watts. For Chuck McAtenick and Mike Hernandez down on the sidelines. Our statistician tonight was Nicholas Funky Cole Medina. Spotter, as always, intern Derek Machen. I'm Don Harris. We'll see you in 2 weeks on TNL on the CW35. Good night, everybody.